A reading from the book of Kings 2, chapter 1. Elijah denounces Ahaziah. After the death of Ahab, Moab rebelled against Israel. Ahaziah had fallen through the lattice in his upper chamber in Samaria and lay injured, so he sent messengers telling them, "Go inquire of Baal-Zebub, the god of Ekron, whether I shall recover from this injury." But the angel of the Lord said to Elijah the Tishbite, "Get up, go to meet the messenger of the king of Samaria, and say to them, Is it because there is no God in Israel that you are going to inquire Baal-Zebub, the god of Ekron? Now therefore, thus says the Lord, You shall not leave the bed to which you have gone, but you shall surely die." So Elijah went. The messengers returned to the king, who said to them, "Why have you written?" They answered him, "There came a man to meet us, who said to us, Go back to the king who sent you, and say to him, Thus says the Lord, It is because there is no God in Lord, there is no God in Lord, it is because there is no God in Israel that you are sending to inquire of Baal-Zebub. Shall not leave the bed to which you have gone, but shall you surely die." He said to them, "What sort of man was he who came to meet you and told you these things?" They answered him, "A hairy man with a leather belt around his waist." He said, "It is Elijah the Tishbite." Then the king sent to him a captain of 50. With his 50 men, he went up to Elijah, who was sitting on the top of the hill, and said to them, "O God, O man of God, the king says, Come down." But Elijah answered the captain of 50, "If I am a man of God, let the fire come down from heaven and consume you and your 50. Then fire came down from heaven and consumed them and his 50. Again the king sent to him another captain of 50 with his 50. He went up and said to him, "O man of God, this is the king's order, come down quickly." But Elijah answered him, "If I am a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume you and your 50. Then the fire of the Lord came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50. Again the king sent his captain of guard of the third 50 with his 50. So the third captain of 50 went up and came and fell on his knees before Elijah and entreated him, "O man of God, please let my life and the life of your of be precious in your sight." Look, fire came down from heaven and consumed the two former captains of 50 men with their 50s. But now let my life be precious in your sight. Then the angel of the Lord said to Elijah, "Go down with them. Do not be afraid of him." So he sent out and went down with him to the king, and said to him, "Thus says the Lord, because you have sent messengers to inquire of Baal-Zebub, the god of Ekron, is it because there is no God in Israel to inquire of his word? Therefore you shall not leave the bed to which you have gone, but you shall surely die." Death of Ahaziah. So he died according to the word of the Lord that Elijah had spoken. His brother Jeroham succeeded him as king in the second year of King Jeroboam, son of Jehoshaphat of Judah, because Ahaziah had no son. Now the rest of the acts of Ahaziah that he did are not written in the book of annals of king of Israel. So in this chapter, if we see, like, Elijah denounces Ahaziah, the king, and what happened was, Ahaziah was believer of Baal-Zebub, god of Ekron. And the second thing, when Elijah said, like, what he said was, "You shall not leave the bed to which you have gone, but you shall surely die." It's Elijah's curse on him, Ahaziah. Elijah's curse on him to Ahaziah. And then what happened? The king Ahaziah sent messengers to bring that man, to bring Elijah, and he sent 50 of them first. And Elijah was sitting in the mountain and praying to God. And then what happened was, these people came and asked them, "Come down, because this is the king's order." And Elijah, what he said was, Elijah said, If I am a man of God, if I am a man of God, let the fire consume you from heaven. And from the heaven, at one strike, the fire came down, and all the 50 were burned out and consumed them. The second time, the king said, after knowing this, the second time he said the 50, and the 50 asked, the 50's captain asked him, like, come down. And Elijah didn't come down. Elijah said, If I'm a man of God, again, man of God, then the fire will consume you. And the fire consumed him, consumed the 50 men. And the third time he sent the 50 men. The third time the third time's 50 captain was aware that the second time also he was consumed. The people are consumed by the fire. So he said, "O man of God, let our life be precious in your sight, and let our life be precious in your sight." And then what happened was Elijah also, Elijah was there, and the angel of the Lord said to Elijah, "You can go there, and do not be like afraid of the king." And this happened, and then king said, like, there is no other God in Israel to inquire of that word, because you said to inquire our God. And he said to them, leave to the bed which you have gone, but you shall surely die. Like, leave the bed to which you have gone, but you shall surely die. He said this curse, and then death of Ahaziah happened. Like, according to the word of the Lord, the Elijah had spoken, his brother Jeroham succeeded him as a king in the second year. Jeroham succeeded as the king in the second year. And in this chapter, like, we learn about Elijah's power, how Elijah was so powerful being in this world with Abba Father's grace. Like, Abba Father has given him that power, the prophet that power, Elijah, so that he can tell and command the people and prophesy the things which happened. And this is all for today. Thank you. If you like, subscribe and watch.